What a disappointment this one turned out to be. The first Resident Evil movie, Degeneration, wasn't good, but the following two movies were great in their own ways, and the last one ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so I was actually a little bit excited going into Infinite Darkness. Unfortunately, similar to Greenland, which I just reviewed, it feels like nothing happens the whole movie. On top of boring and uncreative character, setting, and plot, but this time with the added bonus of dragging out a pointless mystery like it's a big deal. Just like Degeneration all over again. Feel free to skip this one, you're not missing out on much. The story of Infinite Darkness isn't a sequel, but in fact takes place shortly after Resident Evil 4, featuring President Graham as a central character. The plot revolves around a zombie outbreak that occurred during a civil war in the fictional country of Penang, which the US government had involvement in, and someone seems to be trying to cover up the incident. The blame is initially placed on China, but it soon becomes apparent that this is an inside job. Familiar hero Leon S. Kennedy joins up with a crew of absolute nobodies to find out the truth and fight a bunch of zombies along the way. Meanwhile, Claire Redfield is... I don't know. She doesn't really do much, and it doesn't make a lot of sense why she's here at all. First thing I want to bring up real quick. Netflix did this stupid thing again where they took something clearly meant to be a movie, but they broke it up into 4 parts so that they can call it a series. It's exactly like Castlevania Season 1, complete with awkward breaks in between episodes. I get why they're doing this. They want to make it clear that their plan for Resident Evil is to not have it be a one-off, but it's so poorly shoehorned. This is not how you start a series. At least Castlevania started off okay. This one just sucks. Once again, just like Degeneration, they hype up this big mystery throughout the whole show, despite the fact that you're obviously being taken for a ride, and it's hardly a surprise when the true villain is finally revealed. Leon does all the action and direct mystery stuff. Anything important to the story, Leon is front and center. Claire, on the other hand, investigates the secondary mysteries, like tracking down the individual soldiers who were in that key battle in Penang. This could have been alright if the plot went somewhere with this, but Claire and Leon hardly ever interact with each other until the last 15 minutes of the show. And even then, it doesn't really have much to do with the overarching mystery anyway. It's like they wanted this to be the Leon show, as usual, but they felt compelled to get another character in there. Only they didn't have anything for Claire to do, so it's pointless. The 3D animation and graphics are okay. Some select scenes do look very, very good, but most of it isn't that much better than Vendetta, if at all. The action scenes in particular suck. It's fine when there's something cool going on, but most of the time it's just stale. Definitely doesn't hold a candle to both Damnation and especially not Vendetta. The acting is a little bit better across the board, but not a big deal. The general premise could have had some promise. I think a more interesting angle would have been to follow that special ops squad during the battles in Penang and explore what happens in more detail. I feel like they could have done quite a bit with that, keeping the story simple with a strong cast that interacts with each other throughout the movie. Even though the concept of soldiers being sent on a suicide mission and the military being corrupt is a cliche and probably overdone narrative, it's still one that I usually find fun, and I would have liked to see that as the focus here. What you get instead are constant back and forth flashbacks, and the way the story is presented makes it obvious that something is up and you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. You've got like 3 half-assed stories intersecting with each other when they could have focused on a single strong one. And if you need any more evidence of this production being half-assed, then check this out. They can't even spell this character's name right in the subtitles. Very cool, well done. I will say that I like the little moment at the very end of the show between Leon and Claire. That part's alright, but the story as a whole is so lame. The worst part is that the way everything's presented, they are clearly working on Season 2 even as we speak. And I can't imagine it's going to be much better unless they go for a completely different style the same way that Damnation and Vendetta did. But the way that this story is, and what they clearly seem to have left to tell, I don't think that's gonna happen. To be clear, this isn't awful. If you're a big Resident Evil fan like myself, then at the least you might find this to be watchable. And we all know that this franchise has had it much worse than that in terms of both the movies and the games. But even so, watchable is not a compliment. You can watch it for curiosity or for completionist's sake, but don't expect this to be a big deal. Thanks for watching my review on Resident Evil Infinite Darkness.
You good?
Yeah. I'm just a little freaked out. I've never seen zombies before. Thanks for back there.